Hello and welcome back to Casterton Vintage Videos. Today we're off to Carrington. No, not to the Carrington Rally held in May, but to the Carrington Working Event held every September. It's a lovely sunny day and there are already an excellent selection of tractors on site and more arriving by the minute. They're just setting out the field, so let's get out there and see what we can find. The first tractor we'll look at is this Doe 130. Time for a bit of plough setting to try and make it match up properly. It's always easier when it's a team effort. But it's a bit of a problem if you manage to break the handle off the right hand side levelling box. The 130 was introduced in 1964 and made from two Ford 5000s. By 1968, when they ceased production, they'd made 73 of them. That looks a lot better, regardless of a missing handle. Next, we've got a Ford 7840, built between 1991 and 1998. Next, a John Deere 2040S, built between 81 and 87 in Mannheim, Germany. This one's quite unusual because it doesn't have the SGB2 cab on it. I think the one that's on there was made by Secura and it would be a lower cost option at the time. A Ford 4000, I think this one's round about 1969 and it was built at the Basildon plant in England. The 4000's running with a Ransom reversible plough. I think it's a model TS82. On the back of the John Deere 2040S we've got this SKH plough. SKH imported this from France. It was manufactured by Huard, who later became part of the Kuhn Group. The Ford 7840 is working with a Dowdeswell reversible plough. These were made in Rugby, England. The David Brown 996. It was manufactured at Meltham near Huddersfield between 1971 and 1980. This particular one is probably about a 1978 model. A beautifully restored Massey Ferguson 135. This one was built round about 1967. It's worth noting that it's running with a matching Ferguson plough. And now we've got a crawler tractor joining us. This one's an Allis-Chalmers Model M. These were made at the Allis-Chalmers plant in Springfield, Illinois between 1932 and 1942. The unmistakable sound of the Field Marshal. The orange paint suggests to me that this one is a Series 3A, manufactured from 1952. The Massey Harris 744 PD or Perkins diesel, also manufactured in North America as the 44. The 7 on 744 designates it as a British built tractor, and we can tell it was built in Manchester because when they started building them in Kilmarnock they dropped the P and it was just the 744D. I hope I got that correct. If not, I'm sure the driver will put me right next time I see him. The International B614, and this one has a roadless four-wheel drive conversion. They were built at the International Harvester Doncaster plant between 1963 and 1968. Our next tractor is this Allis-Chalmers ED40, built at Essendine in Rutland between 1960 and 1968. I think this model is probably a 1967 or 1968. I'm not sure about the white colouring. Can anybody tell me? Does that signify a late ED40? The ED40 used the standard motor company diesel engine, similar to the one fitted to the Massey Ferguson 35. And here's a tractor that would have been thought an absolute monster in its day, the Massey Ferguson 1150, with a Perkins V8 delivering 146 horsepower. They were built in Detroit, Michigan, and it's thought about 7,000 were produced. Production ran between 1970 and 1972. I can't tell you how many were imported into the UK, but it can't have been very many. And we'll just take a second look at the Massey Ferguson 135, completely the other end of the scale to the 1150. And next we've got a Japanese Mitsubishi MT165. These were produced in the late 80s and early 90s. The B&B President, designed and built from 1950 to 1956, before the days the Japanese ran away with the horticultural tractor market. Making a nice job is this Ford 36. It dates from 1976 and it's pre-Q cab, which came in 1979. Here's a tractor that brings back some memories, the Ransom MG Crawler. I played on one of these when I was very young. And there's always a grey Fergie. This one's demonstrating the Ferguson system in some quite tough going. Well, tractors heading back to the gate can only mean one thing. It's time for the burger van. And here's a tractor we haven't seen yet, an International 414, providing trailer rides around the site. It's the same era as this 614 that we saw working earlier. Back in the working field, and they're getting it in a corner now. There's only a little bit of ground left. I hope you enjoyed another trip to Carrington this year. I certainly did. It was great to see so many classics at work. Don't forget to drop down below and like and subscribe, and we'd really like to read your comments. We get more and more, and it's well worth having a look and seeing what people have got to say. There's often some great memories from people that have spent their working life in agriculture. So that's all from Casterton Vintage for this week. We'll be back again very soon with some more working tractors. Thank you for watching.